everyone. This is PamelaTopjian. Are you a writer or do you want to be a writer? Are you a reader or have you been through some trauma and have been able to shift your life from surviving to thriving? Or are you still searching for how to do that? Well, today I am asking for your input. As some of you know, I am the author of two books. One is I Didn't Come This Far to Only Come This Far, and it's a memoir of my whole life. And then at the end is the healing, all the trauma and one traumatic experience after the other to a total mental breakdown, and then the healing process near the end. And the second one is called Behind the Mask, Gloves, and Scrubs, One Nurse's Journey. It's all about my nursing career. So I'm in the process now of writing my third book, and I decided that I would reach out and ask for some input. This third book is focusing on the healing journey, the rebuilding and reinventing of my life after all the trauma, and moving out of that survival mode and how I changed the story of my life to one of loving my life and thriving, which to me is everything I do, I love. Feeling a sense of inner peace and overall happiness for my life. And being at a place that I never thought I'd be in life or I didn't even think existed. So much of what I have written in my other books were all the details and sometimes graphic details of all the traumatic experiences. And yes, as I said, the healing process as well, but it's at the end. And I wanted this new book to focus more on that healing journey. It's not going to be like a how-to book or do this and that, and these are the steps for rebuilding your life, but more of this is what worked for me. Because it's really such a personal and individual journey for everyone. But I think it's really helpful to hear how others navigated through that healing journey. It's too personal and too individual. No two people have the same life, have been through the exact same things, even though a lot of it might be similar. No two people have been through the exact same things, and nothing is going to work the same for everybody. But I just want to focus more on how I did it to hopefully share something more positive and maybe something more helpful. I'm asking you today here to share your thoughts, whether in the comments or if you would rather contact me privately. I'll have my contact information below in the description of this video. So what part of the healing process are you most interested in? And what part of moving from surviving to thriving is the most confusing or where you feel more clarity would be helpful? I'm asking so that I can put more emphasis on these areas in that new book that I'm writing. So I started writing my third book about a horrible situation that I found myself in from my own bad decision making, from the mental state that I was in when I first came to California, which I did a whole video on coming to California. Maybe I'll put that below too. I only touch on it in my first book, and I've kind of left that part out of my story in some places that I've talked about it and shared, partially because I'm not sure if the person involved or that I was implementing, implicating, accusing, talking about would retaliate, even if using a different name, because it's really so specific that they would know if they ever saw it or heard about it. And this person was really pretty much a predator disguised as a friend. But also, to be completely honest with myself, I think there was some shame on my part for being so gullible. So I started writing that story out because I think it would make a good story, really. It's something interesting, and also it might help others, just like the other two books. It might help others not feel so alone in whatever they're going through or having made some bad decisions and knowing that it's possible to get out of that, right? So then when I was getting closer to being done with that book, I was tired of all this terrible thing happened, even though I do think it's important, like I just said, to share and not hide these parts of our lives. And I do think it's helpful for a lot of people. I wanted to focus on and share more of the healing journey. So I completely shifted the theme of the third book, really just started over with a whole new book. So I'm hoping that you'll be willing to help. Do you have any suggestions or input as to where you think might be most helpful for more people on their healing and rebuilding of their life and reinventing ourselves after a life of so much trauma? I look forward to hearing your input. As I mentioned, my contact information will be below, so please check out that description box. And as I mentioned in the beginning, if you're a writer or if you are a reader, I would love to hear from you. Or even if you have been through some trauma and are having a hard time making that shift or turning that around. If you have changed your life around, or if you're having a hard time doing that, please reach out. And as always, thanks so much for being here and for watching until the end. I wish you all so much peace and love and inner healing.